There we go. There's our thumbnail. Hey everybody, Heath Criswell here with the Prospect Times, and joined by Jeff Hewitt. Jeff, how you doing?
Doing fine, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty fantastic, to be honest with you. We've got some exciting
Surprised I
Ranger
do
news.
backflips.
I know,
Surprised
right?
I do backflips.
I know, but it's been years since I've done one of those. I better not try. If I could, I would be. I'll tell you that. So,
I hear you.
this is the fourth episode. So there's that. Um, and then of course we've also got some big Ranger news, which I'm sure if you're a Rangers fan, you've heard by now. But the Rangers signed Jacob deGrom, so we've got our ace. Now, before we really dive into that, though, there's a couple of other uh, topics we wanted to discuss briefly. Evan Carter won the Rawlings Gold Glove Award for um, the outfield. So I wanted to mention that because that slipped my mind last week, believe it or not. And then, of course, and he actually becomes the first Rangers player to win that award since Jose Trevino did it in 2017. I think he did it in 2016 as well. Two consecutive years that he won. So there's that. That's quite impressive for, I believe, a 20-year-old. And we'll look forward to seeing him for probably most of the season in Frisco next year. So that'll be nice. Um, the other thing, there's a few players playing in the Puerto Rican Winter League, so wanted to discuss their stats. Grant Anderson, who is a right-handed pitcher in the Rangers system, is looking pretty good coming out of the pen. He has got a 1-1 win-loss record, one save. He's pitched 13 innings, zero earned run average. I believe he did have one unearned run that he'd given up. Three hits allowed, one walk, 18 strikeouts. So he's needless to say, he's doing pretty good. Now Kellen Strom and Chris Cease are also there. Not quite having a whole lot of success at the plate. 156, 182, 188, 369 for Chris Cease. That's his line with 9 strikeouts, one walk, two RBI. Kellen Strom hitting 180, 317, 200, and 517, I believe, with one RBI. And then Ezekiel Duran is playing in the Dominican. Is that right, Jeff? The Dominican Winter League?
Yeah.
So he's playing, I believe, outfield strictly. So in 13 games, he's hitting 255 with a 283 on base percentage, 431 slugging, 2 home runs, 8 RBI. So there's your update on the Winter Leagues. And then
Can we do a drum roll?
drum roll. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but I did a drum roll. So yeah, the big news. Well, Jeff, go ahead. I've been talking.
Well, it came out around what, 6 o'clock, 6:30 our time, give or
Yeah,
take.
I would say, I mean, without going back to look at the tweet that I saw, I actually saw the Rangers tweet first. I was eating dinner. So yeah, it was in the 6 o'clock hour. I know that. I mean, I thought it was fake at first. I really, I had to like go to their profile and check to make sure this wasn't some spam account that was trying to fool me because I've seen them, into thinking that. But man, it was legit, and I'm still kind of speechless.
Well,
Yeah, it's
well,
like,
Jacob deGrom, 5 years for $37 million, $85 million contract. Comes out $37 million.
Well, 185 million, right?
Yeah,
For over the 5
185
years. Yeah.
for 5 years, which comes out 37 million. A club option, which is awesome, for the 6th year at $37 million. So that brought up the total of 6 years, $222 million for Jacob deGrom, right-hander. 34
Right.
years old, 34. He was hurt most of all last year. He made 11 starts at the end of the year. Went 5-4 with a 3.8 ERA. He has a sheet full of amazing numbers. He's uh, let me see, where can we start? Um, in August, he led the majors since August in strikeouts, 102, on base percentage at 202, and had a whip of 0.75. That's in them 11 starts.
That's really nice numbers, to be honest with you. That's something that the Ranger fans haven't seen.
In years.
Yeah, I mean, it literally, yeah, it has
been.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, I tell you, I'm still so much in disbelief. I still can't believe it. But the Rangers finally brought an ace pitcher that was not traded for.
Yeah.
Convinced them to come to Arlington.
His last 3 years, he led the major leagues in ERA at 2.05, led the major leagues in batting average at 160, led the major leagues in WHIP at 0.73, led the major leagues in strikeouts per 9 innings at 14.12, and it walks 1.48 out of 9 innings.
Yeah, that's. I mean, those are impressive. I think what concerns me about this whole thing, and I know everybody is going to say it, especially Mets fans, is the health. That 5 years, and even that six, which I mean, the 6th year, I guess, is the club option, right? So, I mean, they don't have to take that, so it's at least 5 years. I don't know. The average annual value of 37 million. I'm kind of impressed with that, because I thought it was probably going to take anywhere from 40 to 43, maybe 42 to sign him, and they did it in 37. Now, I will say though that the breakdown 2023, so this next season is going to actually be 30 million. Then season 2024 and 2025 is going to be 40 million each. 2026 38 million, and then 2027 37 million. And then of course, I guess 2028 there would be that club option.
The 37 be club option for 37. And here's another impressive thing. He won Cy Young in 2018 and 19, and Rookie of the Year in 2014. And there's only 2 pitchers that's done that in the modern baseball league. That's Verlander and Tom Seaver. That's impressive.
That's pretty impressive.
You can ask for better numbers than that. He's got the lowest ERA, third lowest ERA since 1961. Sandy Koufax, 2.19. Clayton Kershaw, 248. And then deGrom at 252. That is impressive numbers for that pitcher, for a 34-year-old.
Yeah, it definitely is. Something, that Ranger fans have just wanted, and really this offseason have kind of expected it,
Yeah.
But hey, winter meetings hadn't even started yet, and they're coming up starting on Sunday. So the Rangers, in my opinion, aren't done. But what does their rotation look like now? Obviously, we know Jacob deGrom's the number one. He's the ace.
You can mix it. Like deGrom's ace, right? I mean, that's no doubt. You got Gray, who's definitely a number 2. Now here's where you got Martin Perez, and then
he's got a slot in at 3 at this point. Yeah.
he's gonna be three, right? And then you have your the pitcher that we traded Kobe Alder for to Atlanta,
Yeah, Odorizzi.
who did yeah, Odorizzi. Can't think of his last name.
And then
I know his name. I can't say it.
yeah, I know it can get you. Now, so the fifth spot then at this point, and now we're talking about current, not necessarily
It's our
after
first,
the
right?
winter meetings, because
Right.
I really feel like they're not done in the starting pitching market. Whether it's via free agency or by trade. I don't think that
Of our
we're
infielders.
done. Yeah. Now, I guess you'd have to put one of the younger guys in there like Otto or Howard um, at the fifth
I
spot.
Okay. What about? I mean, you have Otto. You have um, what do you do with Taylor Hearn?
He comes out of the bullpen.
Cole Reagan. That's right. I
Well,
mean,
yeah, but I think Reagan's though will probably start the year in AAA, and I mean, unless he wins a spot in the fifth spot in spring training, that's always possible too. He's
we have Cole Winn sitting there waiting.
yeah, that's possible as well. I don't know if Cole Winn is going to win a spot directly, out of spring training, but I mean that is possible too.
But no, they always say you want to build your team from inside, which is catcher to shortstop to second base to center fielder. But then your pitching is going to have to go from the closer, your middle relief. Because I mean, our middle relief is fair to Midland, I guess. I mean, I just, but the stopper, who's going to be our stopper? Is it going to be Jose Leclerc? Is it going to be Jolie Hernandez? Rodriguez, sorry, not Rodriguez. So that's a lot
Wasn't
of.
he released or traded, or is he still on the roster?
The one that came up this past at the end, close to the end of the year. Darn it! Sorry about that, people. I had it.
I I know the name is on the tip of my tongue, and for some reason I'm not even.
Jonathan Hernandez and Yuri Hernandez. But then you still have
I mean that's
Yoli. Yeah, I mean Ronnie, and I mean you got a lot of. I mean, you got a lot of pitchers out there, but no proven pitching. Jose Leclerc, your own one. That's
yeah.
our
I mean
closer.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean you could put Jonathan Hernandez. I feel like but at least addressing the starting pitching currently. Um,
Yeah.
I feel we definitely. I would feel better about this starting rotation if you may disagree with me on this, but I want Odorizzi being the fifth starter. I still
Yeah,
want
I agree.
a middle of the rotation arm.
I agree.
Um, okay, well, that's nice that you
I agree.
agree
I
on
agree.
that.
No, thank you.
So,
But I mean, let's see who comes out of spring training, and then put them 4 or 5 that way, because you never know.
yeah,
Somebody's gonna catch on
but
fire.
yeah, but you can't bank on that though. I mean,
No.
that's the issue with like the younger guys. I mean, yeah, at a certain point, you've got to start the younger guys. You've got to give them a chance, but then again, they also have to prove it as well. And I'm not so sure that spring training is necessarily the place. I still want like someone like a Jameson Talwin, if that's how you pronounce it.
The kid out of
I feel like we could get him for maybe like a 14 million average annual average value. Um, I think if you can sign him, or even Singa still. I don't think the Rangers are even out on Rodon at this point.
No, I don't think they are
You
either.
know, I still think that Rodon is a possibility. Um, do I think it's less likely that deGrom is signed? Yeah, it probably is because I mean, what he's 37 million. You figure Rodon has to be what, low 30?
Hmm.
Would he be high 20s or I don't know.
Well, I can't. Last time I saw it, it was Ken Rosenthal had him. I think three for. I think 3 for 90. I think 3 for 90. I think.
Yeah, that might be a little steep. So that might take the Rangers out on him. But you know, someone like Singa, you know, the
Japanese pitcher.
yeah, the Japanese pitcher. I mean, I don't know. I do kind of worry because you don't necessarily know, you know, but I feel like we have more of a track record now. And we've seen some of these guys be more successful. I mean, Yu Darvish is an example, but
Is the perfect example.
yeah,
You got Shohei Ohtani.
well, that's a very fine example, you know, for especially a two-way player.
Hmm.
But I mean, could you still get Senga? You know, I don't know what he's gonna command, but I don't know. I still think the Rangers could possibly still land him or maybe Rodon. I don't know. More I think about it, I'm kind of not thinking they're gonna get Rodon since they have
Well, I
deGrom.
was reading on the Athletic, and you probably say, I mean, you're crazy, but Chapman, the Yankees closer, one
Oh,
for
well,
8 million,
this
1 year, 8 million.
you're crazy. No, I don't know. One year, 8 million. You know,
One year, eight
I could
million.
handle that. You know, I could handle that. But yeah, the 1 year deals, you know, I'm perfectly fine with that because you're not, you know,
Put yourself
committed.
out there.
You know,
Yeah.
you're not committed long term. You know, so the 1 year deals, yeah, I'd be fine with that. And I will say though that I guess him not showing up or something for team practice didn't, you know, that doesn't look so great. You
And
know.
for the playoffs, which makes no sense. That's the Yankees.
Exactly.
That was.
So,
Mm.
you know, I don't know that they would bring him in, depending on his personality. You know, but a 1 year deal, yeah, I'd probably be fine with that. So, I mean, definitely an improvement in the rotation. Um, just clearly, you know, the rotation is so much better, even with deGrom.
But
But then that
but did
other.
it? But did it win the division for us?
Well, definitely not. No, I mean you still. I mean you're competing with the Astros, their rotation even after losing Verlander. You know,
Which they are.
they're
Which
not.
they will. Which they will.
Oh yeah, the longer it goes on, I think Verlander is not coming back to Houston, which I'm
Right.
perfectly fine with. I don't like facing
I do
Verlander.
too.
But you know, the next guy that's going to come along, what's Hunter Brown, I think is the
Hunter
kid's
Brown.
name.
Yeah.
You know, he's ready
Mhm.
and he's only
Yeah.
24, you know. So like you mentioned this earlier when we weren't on the podcast, but it's basically going to save them $40 million and they're not. I mean, they'll miss them, yeah, but not a whole lot. You know, they've got guys that are ready to slot in right behind him, and they're
Well,
still
the
going to
good
win the
news,
division.
unfortunately, and I got to hear being down here in Houston. I got to hear it all the time, and I could.
Well,
Man, I
hey,
don't. I don't
Jeff,
hear it
we
that
all
much.
have to hear it. You know, Houston fans love to rub it in the face, you know.
Yeah,
I probably
but
shouldn't have
the
said
the
that, but
problem they do. It's true.
uh,
But the problem is, you sit there and okay, 2017 shouldn't count because it's the trash can. But this one, they actually won the daggone thing. So that's the bad part about it is because you can't really count 2017 as I mean, at the World Series, but Major League Baseball said, oh, we'll just go ahead and suspend their manager, suspend their general manager, but they'll go ahead and let you have the title. Okay, that's to me that was wrong, but oh well, it is what it is. But
Yeah,
we got the Astros, but then we got Seattle, who just
Seattle's going to be
signed.
an issue. Exactly. And, you know, that's, obviously a thought that the Rangers have got to have. I mean, the fans think it, the front office is thinking it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
you've got, we know we're not likely to win the division. Um,
a wild card.
make another move. You're starting to have a rotation where you possibly could. Now things would have to go right, obviously, a lot of things, but yeah, I don't. I see Houston still being the favorite for the division. Seattle, though, is going to be an issue as they, proved this year, and they've already, made moves. That the Angels have improved as well in their rotation. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you look at our starting rotation, while it's definitely improved, it looks real nice with deGrom up there, doesn't it, Jeff? um,
Yeah, it definitely does.
you still got to, compete with the Astros, the Mariners,
Yeah.
and the
Well,
Angels.
the thing,
Everybody likes to make fun of the Angels because, they have two best players on the planet and they still don't do
and they
anything.
can't
But
do nothing. They can't do nothing with
that
it.
that could change this year.
Yeah. Well, the bad part about it, you got they play down in the juice box, and down there in left field is 316 feet, and it's at the green monster, and it's just perfect for Abreu, who just took Goriel's place when he signed a 3-year contract. It's like he's gonna lead the major leagues in doubles. I guarantee he's gonna play handball with that outfield wall in right field or left field, and it just aggravates me that they just take one and put one right back in like that. Young.
Well,
I
just like
mean,
the
it just
pitching, you know.
yeah,
But that
but
kind of
it
goes
is
back
developing.
to,
It's
yeah,
developing.
you've got the player development, you've got drafting right,
Yeah,
um,
you got
and then
the
you've got
international
signing.
league.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you've got, signing the right free agents. It really does take a mixture, but it is so important as far as the player development. And I think we're starting to see that on the
Yeah,
Rangers side of things,
I think so.
that's really gonna, come to fruition. I think maybe, even this season next, guys like Evan Carter and Zavala, I mean, they're not going to be in the minors very long, provided they stay healthy, which obviously, Zavala, is going to be out
He's
until
already got an
May or
ACL.
June, I think it is. Yeah. So I mean that'll definitely hold him back some, but I mean I could see him, being in the major leagues sometime in, if not at the very end of next year, 2024, you know?
But here's our issue. I mean, we have so many good young infielders, but we're set in the infield. So trade a couple of your good minor league infielders for pitching. Don't trade pitching a young pitcher to get an older pitcher. To me that serves no purpose. To me, because you're getting rid of one of your
Well,
weakness to get a pitcher. So trade some of our infielders that we
well,
have.
no, I think I would do. I think it depends on who it is, though. Because I don't know. I could see, trading some of our pitching if we're getting, an ace from a different team.
Better be an ace.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, definitely. But man, I don't even know what I'm going to say. I feel like I lost my spot. What I was about to say.
Okay.
Um,
Who, as far as our major league players, is tradable? Because you got to somebody. You got to trade somebody in the major league for a pitcher, and there's only
well,
one
this
player.
this is what I was going to say.
And you don't.
Yeah, I mean
And you don't want
that's
me to say that.
possible. But so yeah, and this goes back to my point. So as far as signing another, middle of the rotation pitcher, um,
Right.
because then you can, after doing that, you don't even have to do it during the winter. I mean, you can do it,
Right. Right.
through the
During the
season up to the trade deadline.
trade
you
deadline.
could trade for another pitcher at that point. So then you're improving your rotation even more.
Not a rent pitcher, not a 1 year or at the end of the season.
No, I
Just
wouldn't do that.
we got
Especially because
burned
you're
several
talking
times.
about getting rid of some of our top, 10
At
players,
least
as
five.
far as
Yeah,
prospects.
five.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely not for a rental. No, I love our prospects too much, man. I'm not going to give these guys up for half a season, not even half a season at that point. You
But
can't.
Garcia is the only one that's tradable that you can trade, and you got somebody who can fill his
No,
spot.
man,
But
I really think
not his power, not his all his
I
antics that he has.
I wouldn't put it.
But
I man, I think Ezekiel Duran and Josh Smith. I mean, they're drawing some trade interest. So I mean,
yeah,
you could trade them.
but they're not proven major league players like
Right.
Garcia.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're right about that. Garcia, I mean, what, a couple of years, so I mean, he's probably a little bit more, but
He's got 3 years of before he comes to arbitration, and then so he's got 2 years arbitration. I'm sorry, 2 years arbitration. So you can sell him high for what a number two a prospect with a couple extra minor leaguers.
yeah, I don't know if I get rid of Garcia though. Because then who's gonna, you know, provide the power in your rotation or the lineup?
Well, uh, Lowe, you still have Lowe, you still have Seager. You're gonna have Matt Garver is behind the catcher a full year since he come back from his injury. So you'll have him behind the plate. So you're not gonna get 30 home runs. That's that's hard to replace in 25 RBI or 25 stolen bases. That's gonna be hard.
Yeah, yeah, that's
But you got
that's
to
why
give
I
up
don't
sometimes
do
to get
it.
him.
That's why I keep
Oh, you don't
him.
do it. Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I
I
agree.
don't
I
know.
agree.
It really depends. I mean, Chris Young has got something, cooking, so to speak. Yeah, I don't know. I just know that the Rangers aren't done. But the truth of the matter is nobody knows what they're going to do next. Only the Rangers know that because they keep everything so close to the
Close,
vest or
close door.
whatever you want to say. There's not very many things that okay. Nobody like heard any in like my sources tell me that they're close to a deal. Nobody heard anything like that. It was just a tweet that they signed.
Because they're not going to give out their information before. I mean, that way, well, we're going to do this. Well, New York can come right behind them and say, okay, well, let's go up a couple extra million. So they just go in there and say, here's our numbers. Here's what we want. Take it or leave it. So, but he's got me. He's injury prone. So that's the bad part about it is. So Nolan Ryan was injury prone one time in his lifetime. Look what happened to him. So it happened. Look at Verlander. He missed all of last year with the um, Tommy John. He came back this year and won a Cy Young. So it can happen. And plus, he ended the year on a good note. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely good. I mean, the Rangers have to feel good about the medicals. You would think with putting in that offering 5 years basically. So
Yeah.
the
Well,
medicals they kind of bet on it, and let's just hope that it's the right bet, I guess.
John Daniels threw his little hand in the pot and got him a pitcher, or Zach Efron, not the actor. So let's not confuse him with the actor for 3 years, $40 million. I mean, that John Daniels. He I wonder if he wanted to get into Jacob deGrom's bidding just to bring up
I'm
the money. Bring up the money.
Yeah, well, that's possible. Yeah, that's very possible. And isn't deGrom from Florida too? I think they were
I
kind
think
of
so.
checking in on him, you know.
But
I believe he
I'm
is.
surprised that he didn't have the no. He's not Scott Boras' agent, which has surprised me because you would think Scott Boras he had a direct line to Chris Jones' phone number. So,
Yeah.
but he's not a. I mean, David deGrom not a Scott Boras agent, so that's one thing. So,
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting.
So, with
But
the winter meetings, I mean, they start on Sunday. I think the dominoes are going to kind of start to fall, maybe even,
I think they just fell today.
before, maybe more tomorrow. But I
I
mean,
think they
what
fell. I
is,
think they fell at 6 o'clock tonight,
yeah,
or around 6 o'clock tonight.
yeah, they definitely
Because
did,
he
especially
is
for us.
he was the big fish. Now you got because of him,
Yeah.
Verlander, and Rodon. That was well, okay, sorry, Judge, deGrom, Verlander, and Rodon. Judge, no, there was a you sent me something today about him going to San Francisco, but I
That,
mean I've
that
seen that a
was,
couple of times.
yeah, that was just a rumor. I don't think that, I
Yeah,
mean,
but
it's
I've seen that
possible it could
posted a
happen,
couple
but,
times.
we don't know that for sure. But,
Could you see New York losing? I mean Yankees and the Mets
oh
losing
man,
Judge and deGrom. Can
I,
you just
I
picture
I
that?
actually hope it happens, to be honest with you. I hope it does. That would be so great.
Well, the thing, what the state income taxes, there's none in Texas, and there's, I think, number one in New York as far as state taxes. So that I wonder if that had anything to do with deGrom saying, "Well,
Man, I
look
don't
at the
think it
difference."
really plays that much into it, to be honest with you. Everybody says it
State
every
taxes
year
do.
for even for other sports, and it never pans out. I don't think that the athletes really care that much about that. We think about it here because we live here, but I don't know that that really plays a huge role. Now it could, but I don't know if they would ever admit it, but it definitely could. So
It's not like I say this dropped the dominoes. So we'll see tomorrow night when oh, start day of winter meetings, and then we have the Rule 5 draft coming
oh,
up
you're talking
on
about Sunday,
Tuesday.
right? The rule
Sunday
or
the winter meeting starts.
that's right. And then I think also,
Tuesday
hey, so the draft
the lottery,
lottery,
the lottery.
the lottery,
Yeah,
yeah, that's going to be interesting. It'll be I guess the first time that this has ever
it's the
happened.
first time it
So
ever happened.
yeah,
You could thank the
it's
Astros for
I
this.
what I really hope doesn't happen is that we don't drop a spot, because I think that's a possibility as well.
Yes.
Is that you could drop a spot. Um,
Well, we have a 6% chance of getting the first pick. So 6%. I mean, that's six
yeah,
picks.
well,
I
it's
mean,
slightly under that. I think it's like
oh,
5 point something percent. Um, I'm gonna see if I can bring it up real quick and do a simulator real quick
well,
live while we're recording. So as of now, if
while
there was no draft lottery, the Rangers would have the seventh pick. So if we go to sim lottery, yeah, it dropped it down to 9. So
oh,
I really hope that doesn't happen. I don't. To me, it's still kind of early to know, like for sure, who I would want the Rangers to pick for the draft next year. But I mean, the higher the better. So hopefully it'll work in our favor. It didn't just now, but hopefully when it's the real thing, it will.
well, deGrom don't come with the draft pick, does he?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, he
But
does come
but
with.
it's
So
not.
we lose our second pick.
I believe this is only for the first round. I could be wrong. So I believe is it the
I should have
so
looked that
yeah,
up.
we'll lose a pick for signing him, and it would be the same with Rodon too if he's
So
signed.
we'll lose our second and third,
If yeah, if we
like
signed
we did
both of
this
them.
past
Yeah.
year.
Verlander did not come with one, and that was kind of his appeal to me is that we wouldn't lose a draft pick at all. So that was kind of where I was at with him, and less of an injury concern as well. So that was kind of what I was thinking on Verlander, but obviously that's not going to happen. We don't have another 37 billion or 40 plus to throw at another pitcher, but yeah.
But what you do have is Mike Maddox as our pitching coach. So
We have
something.
that, and we have Bruce Bochy as manager, Will Venable, as the I can't remember the name of the
Assistant manager. In
yeah.
case
So
Bochy gets thrown out,
the coaching staff is it couldn't be any better, really, to be honest with you.
Beasley still coaching third, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really complain. But you can follow me at Jeff Hewitt at Aggie17 at Aggie Milkman 17. So look it up. But maybe we'll talk again tomorrow. What you think? If anything comes up.
Well, yeah, that's possible. We could, I mean, at this point, we've been recording on Fridays, but
Yeah.
anytime there's a big move, I guess it depends on what it is. We might, we could pop on and record a quick one, or maybe wait until Friday again. I don't know. I guess we'll decide, but y'all be sure to give it. I know it's silly to say. I feel like we shouldn't have to, because we all know how YouTube works, but give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Yeah, and a huge thumbs up today. I mean, build that statue. That statue needs to be built tomorrow.
And Ray Davis.
Yeah, you got to give him credit for stepping up, and they're not done. Regardless of they're not done. This is not.
Yeah.
I don't think this is what the starting rotation is going to look like come spring training. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I guess that's going to be it for us. Super excited to see deGrom lead the Rangers in 2023. With that, keep swinging for the fences. Until next time.